Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. I'm so excited to have you here for the 59th session. Tomorrow, we're going to have the 60th, and I'm super excited once again for the transformation and the insights we are going to unlock today. Because, as you can see by now, one of my aims with these sessions has been not just to share some insights with you and then call it a day. No, but to build on top of one thing to the next, to get you more clarity, to get you more direction, to get you this understanding that you can be your best self, not by doing a thousand different things or a million different things that feel too overwhelming. No, but by just making one simple shift at a time, where one day at a time, we can create breakthroughs, we can create results, and we can make you the person you've always dreamt to be. That's the challenge I took up when I decided to start these sessions, and 59 sessions in, I can say with a lot of confidence that we've been great at doing that. That each day we've built on some insight or the other, and we have not just taken an insight, we have developed that insight into practical, actionable steps, which, if you've been implementing, you will know that they're working and that these shifts are happening in your life. And so today, I wanted to talk to you not about another insight itself, but about the process that helped me make a decision of starting these sessions, or the process that helps me make decisions in my career, because of which I'm able to scale faster, succeed faster, and get results faster. And also, the exact process I use to map out my coachings, where in 3 months I completely transform your life and you work with me one on one. The people I've been working with recently have all had so many amazing results. In fact, yesterday only, one of them texted me saying, "This is the most worth money I have ever spent." And I told that person, "I'm very glad you feel that way." And then the response that came in was something that also made me ponder and is the reason I'm doing this session today. And the response was, "Thank you so much for creating that value." Now, how does that happen? How do you, as a professional or even in your personal life, become this kind of a person that when you do something for people, they find it so valuable, so amazing, so well structured, so well thought out, that they believe it was the best decision of their life to choose to do business with you, that they believe it was the best decision ever to hire you as the employee, they believe it was the best decision in the world to have you as their service provider, or even better, they believe it was the best decision in the world to be your friend, to be your partner, to be someone who plays an active role in their life. Now, that honor, that respect, that achievement does not only come from doing your work, it comes from this one skill set that I'm talking about. The same skill set that has helped me do these sessions till now and is going to help me continue these sessions in the future as well. The same skill set that is getting my clients such kind of results that they're texting me, "This was the most worth money I've ever spent." And this is the same skill set that all top achievers use, especially in the world of business. And that skill set, my friends, is strategic thinking. The more strategically you can think, the better you can get at the game you play. The more strategic you can be about your perspectives, your decisions, the better off you are at dealing with challenges that come up in the future. The more strategic you can be, the more confident you are. And before this conversation goes out more into the depths of strategic thinking, here's one crucial thing I want to differentiate between. Because the moment we say strategic thinking, right, a lot of people have negative connotations that come up for this word. The biggest one being, "Oh, if you're being strategic, you are being manipulative." And manipulation is a word that we as a civilization have learned to run away from. Manipulation is bad. And I agree to it on some extent. But here's something again, I want to help you get the distinction of, because this is very crucial. Manipulation can happen in any and all actions, even the actions that are strategic, even the actions that are not strategic. The mistake we make is we associate the actions as something that is manipulative, But actions have nothing to do with someone else's manipulation at all. It only has everything to do with their intention. Now, think about it this way: if I'm speaking to you right now, and if I've planned out the way I want these sessions to go, if I have this certain structure in my mind of how I want to start for an impact, of where I'm going to inculcate a story, of how I can deliver it in such a way that rather than being offended by a harsh truth, I wrap it up in a pretty neat way so you feel it, you don't even feel hurt, but you realize where you were going wrong. And I'm sure if you reflect back on the sessions, if you've been attending them, even if this is your first time, it's fine. But if you've seen some of the past ones, you've seen me do that. You've seen how I beautifully can wrap around a point in the most polite words and just convey it to you with truth, with authenticity. Now, if someone else were to look at me doing that, what would they say? Oh, he's not being straight up, he's being manipulative. He's not being clear with his audience. Well, my question to you is this: in everything that you've heard me say, in all the communication that we've had here, have you ever felt that I was not authentic? Well, I know the answer is no, because I know the answer deep within here. Why? Because my intention is clear. If I'm wrapping something up around in a beautifully tied up point while also addressing the truth, I'm not doing that just so you think better of me. I'm not doing that so as to not hurt you. I'm not doing that because I want to infiltrate something in your mind without getting your defenses up. No, those kind of shady intentions are not what I'm leading with. My intention is clear. I want to help you get that transformation. And as harsh as it may sound, sometimes it's your own mind that becomes the barrier to your transformation. It's like if I'm trying to tell you something that's powerful and that's important, rather than arguing with your problems to get rid of them, if I were to be very straight and very direct with you, you might start arguing with me in defense of your problems just because they are familiar. And that defeats the whole purpose of me making a video and conveying simple, actionable steps to you. The whole point of these life breakthrough sessions, from that strategic lens, is to make action taking simple, is to make change accessible, is to break the myth that changing your life is a difficult task. That's what all these sessions have been for. So if I'm just sitting here and talking about all the difficult truths that are going to stop your progress in life and that whole clickbaity thing that we see online happening a lot, I know that's not going to help you. Even if it's real, that's not going to help you create the transformation. So I convey you the truth. But there's a strategy in the way I do it. Now, is that manipulation? No. That's strategic because it's driving results. That's one. And the second thing, it is coming from a positive intention, from a positive place. And that's why I'm very clear about the things that I'm doing. Now, to give you another example to really help you differentiate between manipulation and strategy, let's take the example of relationships. When two people start out a new romantic relationship, they're both manipulating each other by the sense of the word. They're both not showing the truth. They're both showing only the prettier sides of themselves so that they ensure the connection lasts and the relationship is stable enough. Now, eventually, the truth does come out, and some couples break at that point, some couples rise through at that point. Can I tell you the difference between the two? Well, the ones who rise up, they had the right intentions on both ends from all along. Even if they were hiding a bit, even if they were trying to look more perfect than they are because they wanted to impress the other person, they knew deep down the intention is not to manipulate or hurt or use the other person. There's genuine love at the core of their hearts. But in the other relationships that break apart, the stories we hear online of anxious attachment, the stories we hear of blackmail and extortion, and so much more that happens, which makes you wonder, how is it even possible that these two people were once in love? Well, that was not love. That was manipulation because either one of the partners may have had another subversive intention they would not have conveyed. And so the same actions that were cute and cheeky and romantic to one couple become manipulation and false hopes to another. Actions are the same. Intention makes the most difference. So, this is what I want you to understand. If you're choosing to be strategic in your life, you are not being manipulative as long as you are clear about your intentions, your goal, and where you are approaching everything from. Now comes the question: how do you unlock the skill of being a strategic thinker? Well, there's a lot of things to cover here. There's special modules I can make on this. I have like so many ideas to share with you on just this one topic. But again, I don't want to overburden you with things. I want to make it as simple and practical for you as possible. And so the way you can start off on the journey to strategic thinking is to start looking at second and third order effects of everything that happens in your life. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say right now I'm having this conversation with you. I'm here, I'm live, you are there on your devices, you're listening to me. Now, in between this session, if let's say I randomly pick up this pen and I leave it, has that really affected the experience you have in understanding me or in understanding our discussion? No. So, this is a very simple, very inconsequential action, right? And a lot of our actions are like this. So, this is where you do not need strategic thinking. But let's say there's one day where I'm feeling, you know what? I'm not really sure if I want to do the session. I'm a bit tired. I don't have the energy. So should I do it at 9 p.m. instead of 8:30 p.m.? Now, the moment I ask that question for that day, the answer is yeah, you can do it. What's the problem? But that's only first order consequence thinking. That means immediate action happened. Then after that, a consequence came in, and that's the only consequence you're looking at. Now, that is what most people do, and that is where most people get stuck because they can't see the multiple ranging out effects that their choices are going to have. The most successful people, the most successful companies, why do you think they invest so much in coaching and training and consulting? It's not for a lost cause. It's not just for showing on the balance sheet that they did some extra expenses for tax purposes. That's not why companies do the training. That's not why they invest in consulting. That's not why leaders invest in coaching. The only reason they do it is so they can have this strategic lens and they can see through things through the other person's help that they might be blind to today because they want to make a well-rounded decision. Now, for example, 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. one day doesn't really make a difference, but it breaks my consistency. It breaks my stature. It breaks the rhythm that I've built with you. And sure, you may not mind it right now, but if it happens now, is there a chance I can be lenient and just allow that to happen again? Is there a chance that if I'm slipping upon my professionalism here, I will slip up on my professionalism with a client and miss a meeting when it matters the most? Is there a chance that if today I decide, oh, you know what, it's too late, I don't want to do it, I'm lazy, let me just put something? Is there a chance I could take my work that way and then later have that tumbling effect on my business, my profits, and my growth? Of course, there is. Because the person doing the act is the same. And the fears, the emotions, the motivations behind the action are also the same. But when I'm aware of what the second and third order effects of my tiny decision today can look like, I'm able to make a wiser decision today, even if it doesn't feel easy now. And that's how I've been consistent over the last 59 sessions, never missing a single day, never missing a single minute, apart from those two random days where we had a bit of a technical glitch and we started 2 minutes late. But apart from that, nothing else has come in between me, this consistency, and showing up here for you live every single day because I have been strategic in my approach in planning the content. I've not just seen what am I just want to deliver now, deliver it, get done with it. No, I'm thinking, if you watch this video today, what are you going to have as the second and third order effects in your life if you choose to implement it? And am I having a perspective nuanced enough to take that into consideration rather than just blasting you with advice and say, oh yeah, go figure it out on your own now? No, that's why you would have seen how heavy I am on clearing the context about anything that I'm saying here. It's not because I want to be safe or because I don't want to offend you. No, it's because I know the danger that general advice can carry when you really try to implement it in your life. So that's how I'm strategic here with my clients. The reason I can see someone in front of me, even crying sometimes, or hopeless, or battered by a negative situation, or too stuck up in their minds to even accept any change. And I'm sitting there, working with them, breaking through that resistance, helping them see their potential. It's easy to do that because, again, I'm thinking, who is this person going to be after 3 months? What's the magic they are going to have? That second, third order effect is what defines my actions today and allows me to structure coachings that make people feel like, oh my God, this is the most worth money I spent in just a few weeks itself rather than even the whole time. That's the secret to creating value. In your relationships, you do so many things without consideration. You just say what you want, you just do what you want, you hurt the other person irrationally, you expect the other person to hurt you irrationally, you keep score, there's resistance. All of that's breaking the relationship down. And if you ask yourself in just that moment where your ego wants to be right and you're thinking, now I'm going to show you how right I am, just pause and just ask yourself, what's the second, third order effect of this thing happening? The first order effect is I get to vent, I get to feel good. But the second impossible event is the resistance between you and your loved one grows stronger, and they feel that you misunderstand them and they don't communicate. And then those rifts and those problems, whatever they may be between the two of you, they grow wider and wider and wider and wider. And soon, something that felt like, oh my God, this was so beautiful. How did we end up here? Well, if you were aware of second and third order consequences, rather than always prioritizing, I'm right, you would have allowed the heat to settle. You would have been more rational and you would have been aware. What's the long term impact I want on my relationship? And if I'm shouting today, if I'm getting angry today, I can apologize later. But is that really needed? And does the person in front of me deserve it? Not even deserve it. I mean, that's a very egoistic place to come from. But why am I even expressing it in the first place? To really improve the situation or just to feel superior, just to feel good? Because if you can get that clarity, you will no longer suppress your emotions, but you will be emotionally intelligent and clear and honest in your relationships. And you will have this beautiful balance. We will know how to maintain a wall with people who do not have the best intentions. And you'll also know how to be open and vulnerable with the people who do. And you will have the discernment to figure out who is who. And that, my friends, is the power of strategic thinking and looking not just at today, but also at tomorrow and all the consequences and the decisions and the ripple effects your choices today can have. The one thing you'll recognize is, oh my God, I'm way more influential in my own life than I think. And that could either scare you, or that could either inspire you to believe in the statement that I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my ship. Everything, your destiny, is all in your control. Strategic thinking is how you find the map and the direction to steer the ship into the place that you want, into the successful life that you want, easily and effortlessly. So I hope this helps. I hope these insights have gotten you started on what strategic thinking is. It's not manipulation, it's a very powerful skill you can build. And the very first way you can do that is by understanding and adopting second and third order effect thinking rather than just thinking of the immediate consequences. Start doing this, start practicing this, and you will be amazed at the maturity, clarity, and conviction that comes in all the decisions you make. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I truly appreciate your time. And I'll see you once again tomorrow for the 60th session at 8:30 p.m. IST. All right. Bye. See you soon. Thank you so much.